one day, I'm not going to mess up my sound balance. Don't know if that's today, but we'll have to wait and see. G'day. I'm online, boss. It's been a hot minute. Not probably as long as between the last two streams, but still a while. Anyway, today we have a NEXOMANIA game for you from the Thursday night Thrash and Bash series? League. We will have Melon plays 4 days facing off against PSISTORM Dragoons. I don't know much about either of these teams. I know a few people from Melon plays. I know maybe 1 or 2 from PSISTORM, so should be interesting to see where it goes. Speaking about seeing where it goes, let me transition on over to what map we're going to have first. That's right. It's Brax's Holdout. Probably not everyone's favorite. There's definitely some contention over it. I know my old team definitely wasn't the biggest fan of this map, but I enjoy it as the offlane player because just, well, it's very fun for the offlane. You gotta win that lane. Anyway, I feel like I'm stalling for time for no reason because I did something smart and I actually did load up the game before we got into this. So what I'm going to do is click my transition button and click play here and forget to do everything else. Anyway, as we can hear, we are about to begin. And I'll switch back over to this scene and mess up my camera. Anyway, on the left hand side, we see me bad at zooming. Slice on the Joanna, Snarfungus on the Sylvanas, Akari on Deathwing, and Artemis Howl on the Anduin, and up the top we do see Traxxas on Artanis. On the right hand side we see rhythmically B-stepping Crimble? Who is Crimble? Crispy and Bramble on Cho'Gall. We see Senpai on the Junkrat, Chaos Pigeon on Stitches, and Lanasquin on the Brightwing. So it'll be interesting to see where we go. That's an interesting matchup for Artanis, so it'll be interesting to see how Traxxas goes up in the top lane. However, we do just get the general posturing. We do get a nice pull from Chaos Pigeon hitting Snarfungus, but however, they are bullied back off. It'll be interesting to see how well PSISTORM do here, especially because we do have the got quite a bit of bulk on the side of Melon plays for days. It's a lot for Junkrat to handle, so we see where that goes. As we see, we've just been bullying out this bottom lane. However, top, we do actually have the opposite happening. We do have PSISTORM's Crimble, the Cho'Gall, just slowly taking this front wall, but we just do see a bit more has happened so far to this side. Slice gets out the shield bash, doesn't really have much to follow up on it, and that means Chaos Pigeon is out safe. But no, they're not out, they're just kind of doing the good old Stitches thing, walking around, slapping people, seeing what happens, and it is working out. Slice is actually relatively low, while everyone else is still relatively sustained, and Crimble is just slowly pushing this in. Traxxas is having a not very easy time, to put it lightly, just pushing into that. Cho'Gall is a bit of a monster in regards to that. They can already 1v2, gets 2v1, 2v2, 2v3 quite constantly. So it'll be interesting to see where it goes from here. I think it gets easier for Artanis once the 4s come around. Anyway, as objectives getting called. No camps have been touched yet, but again, we are still getting such a heavy push bottom. It'll be interesting to see where this goes. Oh. And Crimble gets the first kill. So first blood on the side of PSISTORM Dragoons. I'm going to go back down here. Crimble, fortunately, taking their time actually capping that objective. It doesn't really matter because there is the blue one being controlled down here. So they're not fussed. They're not going to rush it on in. No real reason to. My words are failing me, but that's alright. It is something that you better get used to here. It happens a frequent amount, as per that sentence structure. But yeah, let's see where that goes from here, as we do see 4s come through from this side of PSISTORM Dragoons. We see a Akari land, and I'm actually curious. I haven't actually had a look at this so far. I'm going to push the wrong button because I can't remember my controls. Okay, we see Artanis is slowly stacking, so that will get easier for them over time. Snarf looked to rotate up, but didn't quite in the end, just because Traxxas is having such a hard time pushing that in. Slide's getting actually relatively low as we rotate on. Artemis Howl doing their best to keep them alive, and albeit, just again, we're seeing that quite a little bit lack of damage from the side of PSISTORM Dragoons. With okay, it will start stacking up soon. Junkrat is gone into that trap. That would be interesting to see where we go from here, just because The traps do get quite annoying. I would be expecting to see Silence and then Big As in those two general kind of 7 and 13 talent tiers respectively. Interesting to see Artemis win the stacking quest just because of there's fewer bodies on the field, but I like it. Dings make me happy, and actually the PS can feel quite good if you are getting chased down. Other than that, we do see Slice getting pulled, and there's an excellent pull back out from Artemis Owl. And Traxxas is just slowly losing that top. That Cho'Gao just basically 2v1ing and Artanis the whole time. Not fantastic for them, but it could definitely be going worse, to put it lightly. Maybe that swings around at the 7. We'll have to wait and see, because we do have Cho'Gao pushing in once again. And actually, that may be the first fort going down before the first objective is won over by either side. Predict right. Oh, excellent pull on Snarf Fungus. Snarf Fungus taking a decent amount of damage. Root gets out. And actually, yeah, in that case, that would have been very good if it did hit Senpai, because just the zoning potential of it means Snarf Fungus can live, as well as get a decent amount of damage coming onto Slice, but Slice is ultimately fine. And there is top going over to the side of PSISTORM Dragoons. So yeah, a bit of a painful start, especially because Cho'Gao is that auto attack talent. They will stack up faster and faster, and we do actually see Crimble rotating down. Artemis Howl now in a precarious spot. They don't really want to be dove on by that Cho'Gao, and that is actually... I've got names all of a sudden. Snarfungus going down first, while the rest of the team does get out safely. And Artanis fortunately has decided to take top at the perfect time, mind you, as it means that no team will be getting progress on the beacon still. And saying that, we do see both Chaos Pigeon and Lanisquin. What is your name, young dragon? What is your name? I'm unsure. Anyway, down here we do see Slice facing off against Crimble. Crimble does get dropped down by Akari. Akari is going to get out that damage. Deathwing does a decent amount in this tight spaces, especially because I don't actually know what form we're in. Oh, actually no, it's range form. Slice doing their best just to kind of keep them down, keep them low, but it's actually... This is quite a dangerous kind of combination here. Because now that we have Crimble here, there's a lot more damage, especially once that auto attacks start stacking up on whoever they are slapping. Speaking about slapping, Artanis may be in trouble. They're getting rotated up on. Chaos Pigeon is stepping on the point. And actually we do see now that we have a little bit of progress in either direction. 32% of Zerg going over to the Melon players, for 36 over to PSISTORM. Actually we have a decent push command here. Snarfungus getting a bit aggressive. Can't quite drop the Senpai themselves. But that will mean that there is now finally forts traded out, so we are even in terms of structures. But I do think there's still some pretty good push here. However, they drop out. Is Stitches under gate is a bit of a scary prospect, to put it lightly. Anyway, just looking at this, I'm just seeing if there's anything standing out. Still, we got quests going. Artanis is getting up there. They've been in a bit of a slap fight this whole game. Crimble is getting rotated on. That is the shove to get them out, and they do punch further out, meaning they are unable to get killed. And again, we still are pretty close in terms of structure, in terms of level. Actually, in terms of everything, just 2 kills have gone over to the side of PSISTORM Dragoons. Speaking about kills, we do see Joanna backing out. Okay, I was about to say safely. Stop my word, because I saw the hook coming up. I'm like, ah! Okay, we're fine. And we get now a decent push up here, because we just see this big wave. We see the Merc Queen from Sylvanas empowering those minions, and Deathwing is just there to slot. Oh, I thought I hit Senpai. And we just do see that Merc Queen just empowering. This decent push going on. There's now Snarf Fungus very over that pull, however, will not be enough to save Sylvanas, as they were in range of the towers the whole time. Akari chooses to fly out, and that is probably the best thing that could have happened there. Joe getting pretty low as well. I wouldn't exactly say Joe is an amazing 1v1 hero, even to start, and let alone into a Cho'Gao who can just push to no end. Anyway, we do have PSISTORM Dragoons capping both points now, so it'll be interesting to see where we go from here. Both teams are now more or less missing structures. Both are pushing on to keeps. Wait. Yeah. Forts, keeps. Keep. I cast this game. I should know what these things are called. I know what they're called. I just can never remember where they are. Slice is going to scout out this camp, but Cho'Gao does have that. Gao specifically has that eye out, so they're able to back out to safety. Both teams have 10s. Anything important to know? Actually, yeah, we do have a lot of combo potential. We do see Chaos Pigeon Chaos Pigeon Weak Gorge. We do see Riptide coming out. There's going to be a decent damage coming out onto the front line, maybe. No, they're going for Snarf Fungus. There's shield peeling for the back line. Light Bomb comes out. Crimble does manage to dash out, getting Brightwing stunned in the process. Zergs are going now, because Traxxas was getting them throughout that whole time. And that'll be Lunar Squin going down first. Crimble looks to be in danger. However, Snarf Fungus does have to drop out because of the amount of damage on them. They're coming back immediately. That is a Hook Gorge onto the Sylvanas himself. That's an excellent actual route. That will get a little bit of time. However, that will be the first Zerg now finally pushing in, as we had a rather messy fight. Both teams losing one person apiece. Good fight, though. Other ults to have note at the time. We do see Twilight Hammer from Cho. Shadow Volley from Gao. And the Blink Heal from Brightwing. On the left-hand side, we do see... I don't see it as often anymore, because I usually take Falling Sword, but that may show what type of Joe player I am. We have the Blessed Shield from Joanna. Kata... you can't actually tell from the screen, can you? Bellowing Roar from Deathwing. Light Bomb from Anduin. We have actually Purification Beam from Artanis, and Sylvanas went Wailing Arrow, which I like it. It doesn't affect Gal, but it does definitely mess with the rest of the team. That was a nice pull by Slice. Traxxas is now zoning onto the Chaos Pigeon. Chaos Pigeon does get swapped, pushed right back into the team. Crimble is deciding to go up onto the both Deathwing and Anduin. Oh, Anduin does get unfortunately thrown out. That Light Bomb not quite hitting on. Chaos Pigeon still in a dangerous position. Actually, that's Anduin going down first, followed quick soon by Stitches. This is now a dangerous spot for at least the camera work. At least for the blue team. And that is actually Snarfanger slowly dropping, and that will be the burn taken down from Cho. This has been a messy fight indeed. That is a swap going out. Crimble is getting pulled back to their side. However, Traxxas does get out to safety. And all in all, that is not a good fight for the side of Melon players for days. They lost 2 there for the 1 of Stitches. However, not the end of the world. Slice is in a bit of an interesting spot. They do pull Crimble while they're on their way out. Just tap and just play it slow, play it safe. Anduin just respawned, and same for Sylvanas. Even though they did have a number of... Well, technically they had the number advantage, thank you to Gal. They didn't really do too much with getting that in. Slice actually getting very low. Anduin gets an excellent pull out. However, Iron Skin was also used in the process. It's a little bit of a miscommunication there, but all in all, that was a very good pull to just make sure Slice did not perish. Interesting note now is we do have the fishing hook out now from the Stitches. Slice in a dangerous position is getting ran down by both the beefy boys of Crimble and Chaos Pigeon. However, it does get to live. Not chased down, not punished. That hook did, I believe, hit Akari, but not too much. That Light Bomb was put on Traxxas, didn't quite find its mark. And there we just once again get these abilities traded. So it's actually still pretty close, all considering. Kills, yeah, sure, it looks like it's definitely in favor of PSISTORM Dragoons. Actually, that is a pull out onto Snarfungus. Chaos Pigeon does get a little bit stunned. Snarf in the damage is polyed throughout the Haunting Wave, and unfortunately goes down. Good poly by Lunar Squin there. Slice manages to get a triple stun, doing well there, and actually will be take a bit too much damage next go down. That Cho'Gall is starting to stack up the damage a lot. That auto attack build just insane still, and that'll be Artemis going down. Just ran circles around. Crimble just ran circles around before and was just didn't care. Hopefully we see Akari and Traxxas able to pull it out. There's actually a full range punch, meaning they're able to get out. Lunar Squin does go back in. Blinks heals the Crimble, the Cho'Gall, and that will be all for that fight. We're getting some very large fights now, and even in saying that, just because of how Melon plays for days does have that passive pressure from taking both the forts, they're able to stay in this despite losing 7 more people. Like, it is much closer than it appears if you just look at the fights, because the blue team of Melon plays for days has that macro. Their team is more suited to that macro comp, because really all that there is to the red team is Junkrat. Junkrat is the best wave clear. Sure, Crimble can do it. Chaos Pigeon can do it. These are both heroes that can wave clear, but between... Actually, I'd say they both have equal wave clear per se, but just Sylvanas' trait is very good for killing buildings. If you can kill a building, if that makes sense. Well, it looks like we're going to have another fight coming up. Actually, this team of PSISTORM is getting their 16. Snarf does use her... I can't remember what it's called all of a sudden. Haunting Wave to get out. There's Light Bomb hitting 2 of them. Excellent stuff. That is a fair coming out. That actually blew a triple cleanse from Brightwing. Slice down with an awkward position. Snarf being ran down by the Crimble. That is actually them getting relatively low. Trax is actually in the backline, just designed to take it to the man, just trying to kill any of these 4 people, but getting them constantly low. And actually, we do see the objective going over to Melon Place for days so far, as they have a first to get. They're first to get percent on the this. I very descriptive, I know, but percent on this progress bar. There we go, the beacon progress. Words are hard, no one judge me. Anyway, we do see 16s come through for the side of PSISTORM Dragoons. This is where Cho'Gall, or Gal specifically, becomes very scary. As we do see, well, no, Cho'Gall both. We see the attack speed coming from Frenzied Fist as well as the Dread Lead and Orb on the W. Because this will be interesting as we see Crimble knock from all away. Both stuns coming out. That is an excellent stun. Oh, that's a nice combo so far. They're not quite able to take out anyone. Lunas Gwen gets relatively low. Crimble now in a awkwardish position, but that will be Artemis Howl. Yeah, Artemis Howl will be gorged. They do manage to get out. Thank you to their movement speed. Actually, that will be Snarf going down first to the to the Gal specifically. And that is Ty going down. Gal and Co do pull everyone off. Artemis Howl being ran down by Crimble. Crimble is getting that damage out. That auto attack speed from the 16 doing so much over such a short period of time. We do see now the side of Melon Place for days is starting to back out. However, Traxxas did go down, so they're able to cap the point, but is rotating out to get the soak and to get to safety. Maybe not safety? It's up to you, Traxxas. You're polyed. And Crimble punches in. Traxxas getting hit for actually relatively a lot, even for Artanis. They've taken a lot of damage. Does try and the good old trick, but doesn't quite hit it out. Anyway, we see Brightwing does phase shift top. Chaos Pigeon now is in an interesting spot. And that is a bear going out. Slices decided to split from a group. Chaos Pigeon is now able to waddle out, just out to safety. Lost half their health for it. We see Traxxas and Crimble fighting it out. There's a lot of damage coming out to both sides. Is Crimble able to do anything to stop Traxxas? No, but we do see Slice and Co coming back down. Traxxas doing their best to dodge everything. They're actually living quite a while, but that will be all she wrote. And now Crimble deciding to dash up. Snarf getting a decent amount of damage onto them. We do see a silent Slice. The hammer coming out, the Wailing Arrow. That is them getting so low, so close. The cleanse on the Brightwing heal for the 7 just keeps Crimble alive for just long enough to escape. Thank you to all their movement between shove and the punch dash. And oh my, very close for the Cho'Gall there. Probably panicking a little bit. A little bit of bricks coming out, just panicking there. But we will see now Cho'Gall moving up to the top objective. We should hopefully see, yep, we do see a nice trade by the side of Melon Place for days. This is still very close. The only thing to note is we do have, actually no, in terms of keep damage, we do see this and this is both relatively even. There isn't too much in it. We see Junkrat clearing the catters. So not too much will get through to this. However, we do just have the good old Ringer Rosie. I've ended up my camera down there. Yep, so we're just circling around, trying to avoid everyone trying to avoid everyone while trying to get the objective. And that will actually be the forts finally. You're right, Crimble. Yeah, Crimble's just slowly taking it out. And that will be Crimble taking the next fort. Joe is scouting the boss. We do see Trap has been moved and a little assist hand comes out. We do have a very big split here. Artemis is in a dangerous spot. They have been pinged. And that is a good fair for Akari. However, Chaos Pigeon isn't the correct spot, so they aren't able to fair them off of the point. Slice does get pushed onto the objective. Not the objective, but the camp capture point. There's a nice flight bomb going out, hitting Chaos Pigeon. Chaos Pigeon goes down first. Crimble standing in the fire, taking a lot of damage for it. That is an excellent route from Artemis. How will anyone be able to die because of it? That is an excellent swap on a Lunas Gwen. And that is Traxxas and Snarf, I believe, taking out the Brightwing. And that is a nice pull, I believe then. That looks like a heal. We have the, yep, Enchant Speed Lion's Boots. And actually, this is the first boss play we see for the day. Bellowing Roar can be used in 19 seconds, fun fact. Well, less now. 10. Oh, that's a bit. You know, I haven't really casted a Deathwing, so I've just noted this little number here is his Bellowing Roar. Feeling a bit dumb right now, but we're going to gloss over that as we have, looks like the team deciding to defend the Zerg. Oh, I've been making up their mind. Decided not to defend the Zerg, but they are going to push with Boss Zerg, as that can be devastating, to put it lightly. We do need to see a very strong defense from the side of PSISTORM Dragons here. Dragoons. Nice vision. Chaos Pigeon getting hit a little bit. That is Junkrat Tire going to take out a relatively large chunk of the Zerg. However, that is still healthy, and we do see this Leaden Order come out. Nice unstopped by the Sylvanas. Chaos Pigeon did have Gorge up, so it meant they weren't able to really do anything. And now we see the Black Arrows coming out, disabling structures. Dragonflight can be used in 15 seconds. Where is Deathwing? Oh, Deathwing needs to land still. So they're telling the team, be patient. Actually, we do see Crimble swapped in, however, it is a Cho'Gall at the end of the day, so it doesn't matter really. That is a lot of damage going out onto core, and that will be, oh not core, onto the keep. And that will be the boss and the Zerg soon to fall. Will they get any percent of the structure? It doesn't appear to be so. It is not. Nice defense from the side of the PSISTORM Dragoons. But yeah, again, we're still very close. That Zerg, bottom Zerg barely able to touch a single tower, while top took all of this top area, as well as a little bit of a shield. Well, most of the shield's just not quite getting through them. Anyway, let's see what's happening. We're just getting good old camp time. People just taking their time, taking the camp, seeing what happens. But yeah, we're just got a little bit of melee minion. This here, that's about to die. Oh, this one's about to die. No, this one's about to die. I need to figure out how to get that off. Anyway, back to the action. We just do have a little bit of push on both ends. We do see that possibly the side of Melon plays for days is wanting to push up to here. Yep, Slice is already positioned very aggressively. And we do now have the blue team marching on up. Brightwing isn't quite with him yet, but that is because Phase Shift is up. Hook is dodge. Excellent warnings from the side of Melon plays. That is Chaos Vision swapped behind the enemy team. We do see Shadow Volley coming out. That Silence doesn't hit anyone. That is an excellent stun combo coming out from the Wizard Shield and the Light Bomb. Lunar Squin does manage to escape. Chaos Pigeon getting very low, getting sucked in, able to go down, and that will now be a 5v4. Tire getting relatively low. Does hit just Artemis and Slice him now, but at awkward position. However, that is the final keep for the red team going down for the PSISTORM Dragoons. And it actually looks like they're not wanting to let up Slice. We're getting a relatively big stun combo, some stun chain, sorry, onto Crimble, but they're not quite able to quite go down that. Cho'Gall is so hard to kill, especially with a Brightwing. Brightwing on the other hand, however, goes down a bit quicker. Love the small dragon, but she isn't the beefiest of boys. And that is Senpai going down. Crimble also getting very low. Their health dropped to sub 400. But however, that will be the side of Melon plays for days. Deciding to call for core there. And it looks like GGs are being called for the side of PSISTORM Dragoons, Cho'Gall, and Brightwing sitting in core as they had to recall due to just how low their health is. I would like to see Crimble just go one last hurrah, see what they do. But that will be it. That was map number 1, going over the side of Melon Days for Plays. Before I put over to any other screen, I am going to go click this button and click this, and hopefully all that text disappears in a few moments. Text disappear, please. Text disappear, please. Oh, I really need to figure out how to turn that off. Welcome to I cast this game. I don't know how to do it. Anyway. We can see actually there was a... Cho did a lot of damage. Cho'Gall does a lot of damage in general. Same as Junkrat. They're all doing 60 to 76k. Wow. That's a nice range of damage. However, we did see at the end of the day between Sylvanas and Traxic, Artanis, my words, we did have a lot of damage coming out, as well as the Deathwing Fire actually did a reasonable amount as well, because we do see a lot more even amounts of damage on the side of Melon Plays for Days, as even the Anduin was getting in there with it's still hitting a nice 22k. Brightwing did a lot of healing, but they did also have Stitches and Cho'Gall to phase shift onto. Those are big boys, to put lightly. It's something that can heal up quite effectively, something that is quite good to heal up, and that will survive for a while. Anyway, I'm going to briefly show talents just in case anyone is interested. We do see 276 stacks on VR tennis. That is a lot. Halfway there in Piercing Light, that's really nice for Anduin, especially into the lighter comp that they had. 40 Globes to Joe. Nice, that is a nice bonus. 40% heal on activation. Nothing to sneeze at. But other than that, anything that stands out to me, not in particular, really. These are all relatively, like, standard, solid builds. Unless someone wants to tell me wrong, then that's fine. It'd be rude, but it'd be fine. Anyway, what I'm going to do is briefly throw it back over to... when I remember where it is. This screen here. I'm going to put on some music, because I need a drink of water while I set up the next map. Right, I've had my water. As we can see here, we have a... oh, what is this map called again? Towers of Doom map. Which, more of a fan of this... less of a fan of this map from the offlane's perspective, but I do actually really like how it's played out. It's probably one of the best maps for things such as comebacks. It's one of my favorite to watch just for that reason. Anyway, I have the map loaded up. I am going to click for play there, then I'm going to transition this time. As we have to prepare ourselves for battle. Anyway, ignoring me. Chest just letting out a little bit of burps. We do see on the side of Melon plays for days. Track 6 on the Zul, Akari on the Sky Parrot itself, because oh my god, it's bright. The Foul Start, Slice on the... why do I forget heroes as soon as I cast? I can say it any other time. Anubarak, Artemis Howl on the Brightwing, and Snarfungus on the Li Ming. On the right hand side, we see Lunas Gwyn on the... Lunas Gwyn? On the Stukov. Crispy on the Zul. Bramble on the Hogger. Senpai on... I can't remember her name. Camera, please. Beyblade. It's Vala. As well as Chaos Pigeon on the Diablo. So it should be interesting to see how we start out. Most of the early game is just very much going to be a little bit of posturing, a little bit of macro. Both these laners... oh, actually, we do see that there is a double soaker from the side of Melon Plays for Days from Track 6 on that Zul. However, between... PSISTORM doesn't exactly have the most amazing double soak. They do have Hogger, which can do it pretty well. Will do it alright. Crispy can do it alright on the Zeratul. However, they're not the best. It'll be interesting to see if they can keep up with Zul. We do see a minion explode to that orb. Slice in a bit of an awkward position now, just away from the team, with Diablo just separating them. Diablo not quite getting the stun off. We do see, however, Hogger gets stunned in the process. Akari gets silenced for a lot of that there, and we do... that was a decent amount of damage, so it looks like... oh, we don't. It is reactive Ballista Spores, so that bigger heal build as opposed to the damage on the silence. Nope. Bramble keeps getting stunned. That's unfortunate. Chaos Pigeon in a pretty high position away from their team. But in the it's about halfway. Either way, both teams have to meet in the middle if they want to fight. Zeratul was trying to keep up with this Zul, but Zul is such a good character to push. It would just be scary for Zul later in the game if Crispy tries to bother them more, like to actually interrupt them more as opposed to just doing their thing. And we do see Artemis Howl does use the phase shift onto Slice. Slice still was able to escape by themselves, but phase shift definitely helped. And Bramble actually got very low as well. Orb nearly takes out Senpai. Senpai, by the way, is the W build, just so everyone knows, if anyone wants to keep track of that. And we do see just this wave slowly falling. There's a nice stun coming out onto the Diablo. Diablo really not taking much for it, so we are going to have to see the damage is going to ramp up by both teams. Both these teams have quite a late game comp. Akari on that Falstad stacking the Qs. Should stack up over time once they hit 30. That starts rolling. Li Ming is just known as a monster in general, especially in the late game if they get the resets. Senpai and Chaos Pigeon actually taking a large shot because of those orbs. And then on the right side, Zeratul was actually one of the kings of a late game, 16 to 20, terrifying. Same for Vala. Vala's 16-20 once Manticore comes in, once you get things such as Farflight Quiver or anything like that. Also terrifying. Anyway, first objective coming up. Be interesting to see where this goes. We do see that there is a little bit of advantage by the side of Melon plays for days, just because Zul is able to clear a bit faster and Crispy is just missing out a little bit. Anyway, going back down here, we do see a little bit of damage coming out. Chaos Pigeon actually taking the biggest brunt of it so far. Popping that Soul Shield just because it is such a large amount of spell damage on the team. Towers are swapped out, and actually Zeratul will be rotating down. Actually, that is Artemis Tower going down first, Chaos Pigeon taking him out. However, that is Chaos Pigeon going out in the process. Slice going deep, doesn't have a healer to help him out, and that does appear they will be going down. Thank you to that Vala. Yep. Unfortunately, with Brightwing going down so early, they just didn't quite have the damage, well, not the damage, the healing to sustain through the damage of PSISTORM Dragoons. So that is a relatively even ult phase still, as it will mostly be, as just these top ults traded out, and just the bottom one is taken over by the red team. However, nothing too flashy or serious yet. Only 3 kills so far, which, considering it's an ult phase, could be worse. Could be much worse for either side. Anyway, we do have a nice ping down here. Don't know why that warning's there. Maybe they just saw Pumpkin and actually... Ooh, I did not see that. I am sorry. That will be the Zul going down. That is a good call by the side of PSISTORM Dragoons. Zul is known for his double swing. That is true, but however, the unfortunate thing of Zul is they do not have a good escape. They are pretty immobile, considering they have their bone shield, but outside of that, they are relatively susceptible to a lot. And speaking of which, we do see Artemis Tower going down. They don't have a blink heal to escape yet, and they will be going down. Crispy was there just in case things got worse, to see if they wanted a bigger fight. But however, that is Slice. Oh! Slice, actually, that was a perfectly timed Q. That was a perfectly timed Q. If they didn't have that then, Chaos Pigeon would have pinned them, and that would have been the beetle being squished. That's a better way to put it. And now we will see these sappers getting walked in this time, as the blue team has no front line and no means to stop these sappers, as Bramble just kind of forces them out. Falstad is trying their best to stop it. Gets one stopped. Nice. That one extra does actually add up over time. Like, it does a lot. We just see a solo trying to happen here. However, Akari can afford to keep Bramble down here for a little bit longer, as they can... Well, I was in the right place at the right time. Oh, come on, Falstad! Falstad! And Falstad gets to live! Goddamn! Chaos Pigeon give him... I'm pretty sure Kari would have had a heart attack there. Just, you're fine. Like, oh yeah, it's just a... Hogger. It's fine. He just swings his mace every now and again. He swung it then. I'm good. Diablo appearing would not have been ideal for them. And actually, we do see double altars going over to the side of Melon players for days and making it things more in their favor in terms of the shots. However, they lost half a fort for that. Fort, keep, fort. I can just do this. Fort, there we go. It changes to a keep later. Yep. Anyway, we will see this phase being cleared out, and just, I feel PSISTORM hungry for this fort. They want it. There's actually 10s out for both sides. We do see the lightning breath coming out from Chaos Pigeon, that getting relatively low. Artemis Howl does use the Emerald Wind to keep Zeratul off the team. Chaos Pigeon getting relatively low, and that is the blink, phase shift going out. Chaos Pigeon will go down next. That is Slice getting relatively low. Akari also getting low. That is the stun coming out. However, they will be going down before anything could happen. Slice down in awkward position. That is less than 200 health, which even for a tank, that is very low, especially for a tank such as Nubarak. Senpai pushing up. We do see Artemis Howl and Snarf Fungus in a weird position now. Snarf is actually running out of mana. They can't stay in too much longer, and we do see they decide to back out to safety. And that ult, it could not be called at a worse time for the side of Melon plays for days. As this whole area is now, I'm going to zoom out for that. As this whole area is now is effectively zoned by PSISTORM, this fort is a lot to deter any form of like engagement or escape, because now we do have to see the side of Melon plays for days does have to push through this small choke, which there's a lot of walls around. Diablo like walls. That's all I can say about that. I am distilling it to its pure turn off brain. Diablo like walls. Yeah. Chaos Vision taking a relatively big chunk there. We will see actually, Kari did go that boomerang, so we do see the spell armor being reduced. If they can get a nice combo between boomerang and Snarf Fungus's Li Ming's full combo, that would actually do a lot. Actually, I have ults to note that I haven't really noted yet. We actually didn't mind. Artemis how it does get stunned. That is Web Rat coming out, Cocoon coming out. Lightning Breath did actually come out to actually melt down the Cocoon, and that will be Brightwing going down, taken out by Vivala. Bramble does come in, does a spin, and actually Diablo is also traded out. Also Gus was used during that, okay. Oh, we have Might of Nerazim. I can't remember what this is called. Might of Nerazim? I can search it up. Might of Nerazim, yep. So that'll be interesting to see how quick Zeratul can combo people soon, and we actually just see them using it for wave clear more or less currently. It'll be interesting to see what they do here. I think just kind of, they're not really getting much done at the moment just by staying here. Like, yeah, sure, they're slowly poking things down. What I'd like to do is see them just see if they can open up the game another way, like maybe going top up here, seeing if they can open up mid, seeing if they can seeing if they can open up top, seeing if they can open up mid. I was speaking way too fast. I don't know if that was English. Sorry, let me retry that slower. They could try open up top. They could try open up mid. However, we do have Slice once again getting a very well timed stun onto the Diablo charge. Just again denying that combo. Bramble pushing up, getting out them easy throw dynamites? Easy peasy dynamites? Easy throw dynamite, I believe. We do have to see just this blue side just slowly pushing up more and more, trying to get that structure down. However, they're just not able to push in by the time the altars will be able to activate. We just see Akari hitting Bramble, isn't able to do much with that. We do actually see phase shift coming out quite early into phase. Vala capping bottom before the fights can really begin. Track 6 is going to get stalled. Akari now in an awkward position. Diablo gets a charge of him, and that will be Akari going down to Hogger and Diablo before the fight could truly kind of break out. Artemis Howl going relatively low. Track 6 will be taken down. That looks like full W build from Diablo, and it appears to be so just because of how much damage that was stacking up on that Lightning Breath. That looked like a full spell power coming out. That is 5 shots going in. That was 10 shots going in that phase for PSISTORM Dragoons. So, if you're sitting here as Melon plays for days, you are wondering, what do you do? Where can you go? Slice, however, that's not where you want to go. You are getting stunned once again. You do have the burrow to get out, and you will be home safe. Next to your baby dragon, next to your sorceress? Is that her class in Diablo 2? Anyway, yes, I believe it is. Akari is now just sitting by, seeing what we're going to do. Actually, Track 6 is down here for this fight, so we actually may see a 5v3 breakout. Come on. You can do it. Chaos Vision is getting the stomp out there. It's a decent stun. Barely hit the soul shield in time. That was almost frame perfect, I believe. Or I can sound like a twat saying frame perfect, but that was very good timing by Chaos Vision. Excellent stun coming out onto Nubrak. Nubrak does get flipped around. There is a silence pool under them, so they will be unable to use their burrow as a disengage. Agari pushes them into the death zone. Track 6, however, got relatively low for that. Brightwing once again tries to push them back in. However, even through all that interrupt, they're just alive still. Actually, Luna Squin doing very well with that heal build means everyone's staying alive. No one's really dying, and actually, speaking of dying, that will be the Falstad going down. This has been a painful game for that Falstad. It's rough to watch. No, not rough to watch. It'll be interesting to see where they can do, what they can do next time, and how they can kind of shift coming into this late game, as we are indeed in the late game. 3 altars up. We have 5 altars. 5 towers for the side of red side, 3 for the side of blue. So hopefully we can see a little bit of aggression come out here. Or it does appear to be a trail. Luna Squin. Luna Squin barely gets that interrupt onto Track 6. And now we do have a fight down talents. And Falstar did flying in. And actually that will be the altar capping. And actually no fight kind of going out. However, for the side of... Ooh, Akari went very low there. Was very close to being in trouble there. We are in a very precarious situation for the side of Melon Plays for Days. They need to now keep an eye on Boss. If Boss goes down, that is unfortunate. Traxix eats half their health from the Zero Tool. Zero Tool is in that mode of chunking, and it does appear to be the auto attack build, which does hurt a lot. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see what goes on from here. Akari taking a little bit of damage. Slice in an awkward position. Snarf and Artemis Howl now coming around to support him. And now we have a very split fight. That Emerald Wind stopping Crispy for a little bit. That Gust pushing the enemy in. And actually will be the Stukov Cocoon. Senpai now in an awkward position. Traxix, however, will be getting very low. That is the Stukov going to be trade out by the Zul. That is a good stun to Senpai. Senpai getting relatively low. That is Slice actually also getting low, and that will be them going down next. Once again, trade a Nubrak for Vivala. That will actually be the Hogger soon to follow. Chaos Pigeon sticking right on Akari's tail. However, Akari, the bird themselves, are able to fly away. Snarf Fungus does get Chaos Pigeon off them with that repulsion. That's Chaos Pigeon getting very low. That Spell Armor coming in clutch. The charge not quite hitting the wall, and that will be the Diablo going down. That was a big fight, and that is exactly what the side of Melon Plays today is near. PSISTORM Dragoons is still in the lead despite all that, but Altered's getting spawned at a relatively good time for Melon Plays for days. PSISTORM Dragoons will not have everyone up yet. They are, there's a warning there, but they are very much in a, they're not in a position to really fight over this just because of what Zero Tool is looking to interrupt. Zero Tool is looking to go on Artemis, does blink in once. Artemis does use the phase shift, goes up onto the Slice. However, we just see them respawning now, and I'm wondering if they will be able to cap it in time now. Akari is stalled. Luna Squin looking to come in. No, maybe not. Backing back out. And now, even after all that, that is the advantage that the... Oh, never mind. They have the... Oh, my words! Melon Plays today to manage to get the objective over, and actually that is Stukov going down. That is a terrifying blow up. Now that I see it in front of me, that was a lot of damage coming out very quick onto the Stukov as they just kind of ate every single skill shot known in this game. Yeah, that's all there is to it. It may be interesting to see if they can catch the Zero Tool. They are roaming. Oh no, they are looking to take Boss off map. Considering the situation they're in, Boss would definitely be lethal because they only have 4 health. Boss will always do 4 shots. Crispy thinking about going in. Seeing the whole team was there, went, not a good idea. Let's back up. However, while this has all been happening, we do see PSISTORM Dragoons has decided to put down the pedal in bottom, and they will be taking the bottom. Is it fort at this point or keep? It's keep at this point. They will be taking the bottom keep. And we do see the side of Melon Plays for Days is trying to get back down, and actually that will be Senpai and Bramble taking out the... I just said it. Keep. Yes. Safe rotations coming out from Melon Plays for Days. Oh, whoops. There we go. Slice getting a nice stun onto Senpai. Senpai having to roll out just because they don't want to eat all that damage. Did they go? No, they didn't go for spell armor. Very bold considering what they are running into. Yeah, very bold considering what they're running into. We do see a polymorph coming out onto Chaos Pigeon. Chaos Pigeon taking a lot of damage. Bramble does dive into backline, separating Slice from the rest of the team. Zul isn't quite with him. This is a 4v5. We do see Melon Players back out. Zul wasn't actually positioned to steal, but they decide just to be patient. I like that, because if they were there, they would definitely be dead by now. Zul is wanting to interrupt, however, the red team is zoning very well for them. That is Senpai getting the objective, and that will be the game. Going over to the side of PSISTORM Dragoons. That was a interesting game to watch indeed. So now that we have that, I am going to push my buttons, and hopefully, when it lets me. There are still things on screens, but we will go over stats. So that was a bit of a stronger affair. We do see quite a strong team fight coming out consistently from PSISTORM Dragoons. So I can't remember what the next map off the top of my head is. I would like to see the blue team of Melon Players for Days definitely take them to a more macro-oriented map, because just you can see PSISTORM is very much favoring those team fights, like Vala, Stukov, Diablo, all very strong team fight heroes. And saying that, Li Ming can be as well, just Zeratul is the thing that tipped the scales and a little bit at the time. Just it was very much a, what's the word I'm looking for? There was some points where both teams had a misposition, they were punished for it. Just the side of PSISTORM Dragoons did get the early advantage. Thank you to the soaking they had from both Zeratul and Hogger, while they had their Diablo, Vala, Stukov run around a little bit. And we did see it go over early to the side of PSISTORM Dragoons, but by the time we did get to the late game where Melon Players for Days were starting to like kind of muster up this comeback, there was only one altar that really decided it all. All in all, I really like that map from both sides. However, it is now 1 apiece as I go over here and click the button here. So what I'm going to do is, once again, put on my music, have a quick drink, and I'll see you all on the other side of the break. I've returned. This time we have Tomb of the Spider Queen. So saying that I would like to have seen a more macro-oriented map. I don't know if Melon Players for Days did choose map pick or first pick. I don't know in general what happens within the games. Just because I do cast for replays, it doesn't mean I get to see. Well, it means I can't see who chose the map. It means I can't see who made the lobby or anything like that. However, all I can see is the maps that were played and what was won. Anyway, speaking about maps that were played, I am going to push this button. As you can hear, we're loading in. And let's get on into the game. Right. Looking at it, we do have on the left side, Ardosau back on the Anduin, Slice on the Diablo, Akari on Junkrat, Snarfungus on Jaina, and Track 6 on Diva. Actually, interesting. Artemis just chucking her W through there to get the sword out at all times. Anyway, on the left side, we do see a bit more beast stepping going on. It's all behind the gate, so it doesn't matter too much. We do see Senpai on the... Oh. Nazebo. I'm going to make Nazebo sounds this game. Bramble on the Tychus. Bit dangerous into Diablo. Well, Diablo is a bit hurt by Tychus. Speaking about hurt by Tychus, we have Chaos Pigeon on the Diablo. Lunas Gwen on the Lucio. And last but certainly not least, Crispy on that Cho. Cho's on a character we see often, so it'll be interesting to see where we go. I think he'll pick up a Lucibrewer. That is Track 6 thrown in. That is Mech lost. And that's actually them pulled out Chaos Pigeon did throw Senpai in to try kill him. Actually, the throw from Chaos Pigeon is what gets the Zebo killed. Well, I don't know if they realized that during the game, but looking back at that, Chaos Pigeon, you kind of messed up Senpai over there. You just kind of threw him to the wolf, so to speak. Well, the Jaina at least. Anyway, that is first blood going over to the side of Melon plays for days. Lucio does push back Slice, but however that is not anything anywhere Diablo wants to be. Getting chased down by the Lucio, however, they're not going to be taken down so easily. Such is how Diablo works. Well, Trap does scout out Chaos Pigeon. Chaos Pigeon does back out. Junkrat Mine doesn't quite find anything. Does put a Spoda, a good old Spooder in an interesting spot. Spooder bots are dropping the gems as speak. Those are the most important things of this map. It's how you get the objective. We do have Jaina pushed in, and however, Jaina is probably one of the ones who can't survive it, and that is the Jaina to go down. And that just kind of shows the importance of tank first. I've learned that lesson many times in my ranked experience as well as my competitive experience. As a nice squishy chromie, I run into a bush. Oh, there's a Garrosh. Or, oh, there's a Taunt variant. I guess I'm dead. And, well, we saw that happen with Snarf Fungus here. And actually, we do still have a little bit of advantage going over to the side of... How's it going in bot lane? Let's just show this for a bit. We do have a little advantage in terms of experience going over to PSISTORM Dragoons. They are very much in the lead in terms of experience, but the blue side isn't far behind them. Also, it's nice to see Traxxas just kind of save her boosted jets for when Crispy is drinking, so it's interrupting that drink. Slice does charge, actually does get stuck in an awkward situation. However, Artemis Howl does help him out, as the Tychus did try to take him down. Wait, please tell me, did Tychus take it? Nope, Tychus took the bigger they are talent, so when the enemy is above 30% health, they take it up to 4% bonus damage now. However, once they hit that 30% health, they take no % damage on the Tychus' minigun. I like it when it comes into Diablo, especially with that grenade build Bramble is building. It means they'll be able to minigun for the most part and then use their grenade, their W, to finish the final kind of spot. Bramble in a bit of awkward position. If the blue team did decide to get aggressive in there, Bramble would have been a very dangerous spot. However, I do think Melon plays for days are keeping in mind that Chaos Pigeon can throw Artemis Howl now in a very dangerous situation. That is Slice running in, pushing Chaos Pigeon. They do not have now a way to escape. They're taking a lot of damage for their thing. However, the spell shield, the soul shield I should say rather, did keep them alive throughout all that kind of damage. We're still getting very close. Both teams actually have hand in now. I think ever so slightly PSISTORM Dragoons have more. Oh, that was unfortunately short. PSISTORM Dragoons do ever so slightly have more gems. However, we do see that both teams do have it just because it is glowing blue, glowing red, and I can't be bothered doing maths. We do see a lot of stall coming out from the side of Melon plays for days. Slice does charge in. That is Luna Squin going down low, and that'll actually be Lucio going down to the and when we get a good old healer on healer violence. And that should hopefully be the first objective going over to the side of Melon plays for days. Unless PSISTORM Dragoons pulls out something wild here. Nope, and Chaos Pigeon did try to see if they can get anything. But however, that is objective going over to the side of Melon plays for days. So let's see where they go from here. I would like to see them open up mid, open up top, but ultimately we'll see what happens. Oh, did Chinko elusive Brawler? That's something I need to ask myself. He didn't. Interesting, especially into things, something such as a Diva. Diva does a lot of attack damage, but it looks like Crispy is in a relatively good spot. Anyway, Traxxas doing the best to interrupt it. Let's go back up here because no one watches the offlane. It saddens me. Oh, let's just watch it for a bit. Let's just take it in. Oh, there's bomb. Crispy does leap over it. We do see crit damage coming out. Crispy actually takes half their health and damage. And we do know that Baby Diva does have a high DPS output. And actually, Crispy gets very low, but does have a tap and the keg to heal up. Traxxas getting pushed onto now by Crispy. There comes the mech, and that will be all there is for that interaction. Trust me, I've seen Chen Diva before. And actually, we do see this top Web Weaver and bottom Weaver that's still out. We see Gate has dropped top. And the side of Melon plays for days does decide to back out. They don't really want to be fighting a... I was about to call him Yeet Man because I forgot his name, but Garrosh. They don't really want to be fighting a Garrosh under that fort just because, well, Garrosh do yeet. And if you yeet into fort range and you accidentally hit someone... Oh no. I'm just going to close this window. Sorry about this. I'm going to make awkward sounds as I reach over and just close that. Anyway, we do see just a little bit of trading coming out. Nothing too serious. Again, we do see D.Va now taking this... Actually, no, I don't see it again, but we're seeing D.Va take up bot camp. Chen will know that Traxxas is on it now because if objectives are being moved over while there is a camp being in the process of being taken, it will show up on map up until it is taken or it is leashed. We do see a fight coming out here. Chen was pushing down there for a bit. Lucio kept away from the rest of the team. Chaos Pigeon didn't quite have the speed to get fully on top of the intended target. But it'll be interesting to see where we go from here, especially because 10s are about to be online. And actually, Artemis Howl is for unfortunate soul thrown. They're doing their best to get out. They don't hit the double root, so they are able to escape. Bramble does get thrown under the tower as well as Chaos Pigeon gets relatively close. Slice, however, didn't have the means to keep them under there. Chaos Pigeon doing relatively good positioning. Artemis Howl getting actually really aggressive away from the rest of their team. He did walk up to Garrosh. And we did actually hear the Garrosh pop the taunt for that. Speaking of ults, we do see taunt, we see high five. Snarfungus does get ran up to, the body check comes out. There's a nice light bomb, meaning that actually Garrosh is first to go down. Snarf does it back out. Slice gets a nice flip and push back onto Luna Squin. Luna Squin having to run. Senpai has so many gems that double root almost killing them. However, it isn't quite enough to finish him. Bramble now an awkward situation, and that is high five going out. That is being flipped, and that's being under the tower. Snarfungus is getting jumped on by Crispy. Crispy doing their best to see if they can kill anyone. And now that was a 2-for-0 for the side of Melon players today. I know I said that I wanted to see a more macro style map for Melon players, but they're actually doing really well here. They're actually meeting up to PSISTORM, considering how well PSISTORM were fighting that last map. Traxxas and Senpai both just kind of scouting each other up, going, no, you want to hand in? No, bud, you're not handing in? There's boosters used by Traxxas a bit early. Senpai and Traxxas just still kind of zoning each other. Garrosh just watching. He just having a bit of time up here. He knows what he's about. He sits in a bush. He just kind of goes, yeah, what you gonna do about it? Meanwhile, we do see Senpai and Bramble have backed out. D.Va in no real danger at the moment. And even Garrosh is just kind of Garrosh. He has his unstop button. Right, I didn't actually touch on ults. I do see high five from Lucio. We do see Ravenous Spirit from Nazebo. Commandeer Odin from Tychus. And Storm Earth Fire from Chen, I believe is what it's called. A lot of people just call it Panda Pals. Because it's a bunch of pandas. Don't know if I can explain any more about that. On this side, we see the Water Elemental from Jaina, Micro Rockets from D.Va, and when went Light Bomb, Diablo actually went APOC, and we've only seen Lightning Breath Diablos at this point, as well as Junkrat going that Reptile. Anyway, now we just see a bunch of posturing. Both teams once again have hand-ins. Traxxas can't actually afford to lose these 20 gems. A little bit of late on boosters, but nothing too serious. Does drop bomb. I would like to see him try hand in now, but Chen will be pretty quick to be back on them. Yeah. Actually, looking back up there, we do see Slice getting his hand out, and Senpai does get him there 40. That is, that's a throw and a half. Slice manages to get the charge out, and that is then pulled back in. Nice trap from the Junkrat. There's a lot of damage coming out. A little bit of a higgledy-piggledy. APOC there doesn't quite really find anyone. Traxxas trying their best to do a little bit of murder. They do boost out, and that is the Ravenous Spirit going out. Chen soaking bottom as they don't quite... Oh, they do actually have a hand in. And Slice is there to finish off the blue hand in. Well, at least get 20 off of them. However, we do still see D.Va has 27 at this point. And that'll be Bramble finishing up the hand in for the second Webweaver phase in a row for the side of PSISTORM. Dragoons. I want to say Dragons, but I know it's Dragoons. I see the two O's. I'm looking at yeah, Dragons. Yeah. No, Dragoons. Well, at least Final Fantasy will once. Oh, that is a lot of damage going out to Slice. Slice taking a lot of damage. They do get flipped onto the Garrosh. Do actually able to live for barely long enough. That is the power of that W build, I believe. Yep, W build. As the more people with W hits, more people alive. But however, Artemis Howl did have an excellent heal and light bomb onto Slice, meaning the shield as well as a little bit of a top up meant they can live for barely long enough. Chaos Vision once again throwing Slice. Slice does actually get, I think, booped out by Luna Squin. So they don't quite go down there, and we do have to see a hard disengage. As Diablo's just been bullied for that last 10 to 20 seconds. I don't think I've ever seen a tank bullied as much without actually dying. Yeah, there's a lot going out, and that's a nice double root once again from Artemis Howl. Speaking of roots, we now have Chaos Pigeon for Junkrat Trap. They very much wanted to walk up and hit the Boy King, the Anduin. However, we do see a nice engage going out. We do see Crispy trying to go onto their slice. Did kind of peel for their backline. And actually does get... Crispy does get flipped. High five coming out, meaning no follow-up can happen, even if Diablo did have charge. Devo, however, making sure to do their dues. They're doing their best to make sure... Dues? Yeah. They're doing their best to keep everything clean. And actually now they are a walking pinata with 41, soon to be 44, gems. And actually we do see the red team very much watching the hand, and there's not much Diva can do while the red team have such a kind of aggressive, not aggressive, but dominant hold over the center of the map, watching both hand-ins. Could be interesting what blue team does here, especially since they are waiting for their Anduin to return. Diva just taking their time watching Crispy. Crispy rotating up. No. Diva, now's your time. Diva, now's your time. Diva's now your time. Go, go, go. Diva's no longer a pinata. Let's go. They managed to sneak in the 40, however many Diva had, to make sure that they did not lose any of those gems. And now that will be the fourth Weeper phase of the game, going over to the side of Melon, plays for days. This will be interesting to see where we go from here. Slice in a bit of an awkward position, is away from Chaos Pigeon, away from Luna Square. No, away from their team. Taunt comes out, doesn't quite hit anyone. There's a double stun onto the back line. There is high five coming out. Chaos Pigeon drops her own unstop. Senpai uses the Ravenous Spirit after APOC, very smart. And we do actually hit Lucio high five, the knockback of Riptide. Snarf Fungus now in the middle of everything and is first to go down. Artemis Howl does pull out Slice. And actually there's Garrosh to go down next. Look at that large amount of gems just sitting there. Bramble also getting relatively low, getting peppered down by that water elemental. However, Lucio does speed them to safety at the end of the day. Actually, that we now see 16s going over the side of Melon players for days. They do have the level advantage. They do have a couple kills extra. However, as shades of the first map have currently pointed out, for sure they have the advantage in terms of levels and kills. But we do see that in terms of structures, PSISTORM Dragoons has one more than Melon plays for days currently. I would like to see them just kind of push into this, but between Junkrat can siege quite well, especially if they have... I don't have, they have endless nades. They have endless nades, so it doesn't quite matter. They wave clear very well, but just their siege onto buildings isn't fantastic. They do very much need the Jaina for that, just because Jaina damage does stack up quite a bit, especially with their icy veins. Artemis Owl and Akari getting their gems off, and they're not quite wanting to go down yet. We do actually see that big as coming through from Junkrat, so let me just double check. It is full trap build. It is full trap build. Nice. Chin and Senpai, Crispy and Senpai doing this camp. Slice getting a hand in. Actually, that is Lucio going down. I'm pushing the wrong buttons. If that's actually, once again, a hand in going for the side blue. That is Diablo flipped, taunted. Slice backing out. Slice getting relatively low, and that is Chin jumping on Slice. Come on, Akari does back out. Snarf going very deep to stop Senpai from using Ravenous Spirit. Is not punished for it, thankfully. But they are able to take out safety. Slice getting relatively low. Did drop briefly around 1,000. But as people know, play this game knows, 1,000 really isn't much at the end of the day. We do see now that building going down relatively quick. Track 6 very much trying to interrupt Bramble from doing anything. Does run away. Drops a nuke. Very lucky to actually not go over the wall. And actually we see Tigers going down. Senpai is running out. As rooted by the Jaina. As him going down. The thing I've just noticed now is he being Naz, or whoever the player is playing Naz, I can't remember names. Senpai does actually have the Voodoo Ritual past at 175. So if they go Val Infection, that will very much drop them. Actually, there's Garrosh going down next. This is a very good spot for the side of Melon Plays for days. They have a level of lead, and they're about to actually very much take over these structures. Sure, nothing much happened mid because there was that Knight camp, that Bruiser camp there. However, they did take that top keep. Let's see if they can end here, because it looks like there was a call made, but it looks like the wave will peter out quite a bit. Artemis doesn't quite connect on that stun. Snarf and Heal getting quite low, and now we see Bramble, and soon to be Lucio just respawn. Nope. As now respawning. We see Panda Pals come out. We see Crispy, and Crispy running down V team. We do see them use the abilities of getting Root out. That is the first Panda Pal to go down. The second Panda Pal will be soon to follow. Track 6 getting relatively low. Does use the level 13 roll talent to get to safety. And that will be a not exactly a costly fight. They did just lose mech. It's not ideal, but they did get out some relatively big cooldowns from the side of PSISTORM Dragoons in forms of Storm, Earth, and Fire, as well as Ravenous Spirit. Sorry, I was drinking during that, and I've just seen up here, moving camera. Hopefully that didn't pick up too loud on mic. If I did, I'm sorry. Crispy does get hand in. Luna's Gwen soon to follow. They're pinging bottom camp. Bottom camp being pinged as Track 6 is there. Track 6 is there. Ugh. My words are failing me today. Sorry, I used my mouth all day for just speaking to people, and here I am speaking more, failing for one thing I believe I'm good at, and that is words. Anyway, we see the Siege Giants pushing down bot. Should help at least nullify bottom a bit, but it's not guaranteed. This night camp will do a lot to sort. So actually, yeah, PSISTORM Dragoons are in the best place for them, as they are going to be able to get a strong push with this top. I nearly called it an Immortal. This top Web Weaver. And we do see the blue team going in a very safe rotate, making sure they aren't caught out before they can defend. I say that Artemis and Diablo is stepping up a bit above, and Slice, I should say, is stepping up a bit ahead of the rest of the team. Same for Track 6. However, Diva can get out. Diablo can get out. That is a lot of damage coming out of Track 6. Track 6 does get caught in the petting zoo. I realize when you're explaining what the petting zoo is. Zebo's wall, they do take a little bit of damage, quite a bit of damage here, but they are able to escape. Thinking about Animal Pool. We should see Bomb come out relatively soon. Yep, there it is. Bomb separating the team. Track 6 now in awkward position. Diablo does get the charge out of Chaos Pigeon, is hugging them. And that will actually be Chaos Pigeon barely surviving, thinking about shield. However, that will be them going down first. Track 6 gets back to mech. Slice getting relatively low, as they do have a bunch of Panda Pals on them. Actually, each Panda Pal very low. Crispy is low. Will they be able to touch the last one in time? No, we do see that Panda safety, and that is essentially a full heal for Chen. Speaking of Chen, we do see level 20s coming through for both sides now. Track 6 getting very low. Diablo a bit out of the rest of the team, getting very aggressive. Chen a bit caught out of position now, but that is Lucio being able to get them out. Anyway, let's look at 20s. We see Wintermute from the Jaina. Oh, mid went down there actually, just because of all that fighting went on. That has now opened up a win condition for the side of PSISTORM Dragoons. Speaking about win conditions, this is one of my favorite places to die. It is the boss pit, ladies and gentlemen. Targus checked the door. There is nothing in there. Be interesting what they can do without the garage, and it doesn't appear to be looking like they want to do much. Anyway, it's going to cover 20 real quick. You see missile upgrade from the Diva. And when went Censure, we see Hellgate from Diablo. Riptide upgrade from Junkrat. So on the right side, we see the double throw, the Titanic Might from Garrosh. Mixing Fire from Lucio. We see the Vital Infection is picked up by Nazebo, which now I see that there's a square around the circle. That's weird to look at. I've accidentally pushed that button. Don't mind me, I'm just going to push this again to fix that. And now I'm like, game. I'm pushing X instead of Z. What is happening? There we go. Camera fixed. Sorry about that. Last thing to note is Big Red Button and Elemental Conduit. And that boss didn't even really get anything on the core. That's unfortunate. Chen in an awkward position. That is Slice, however, muscling out Crispy. This is still anyone's game, actually. There is actually a lot... I say anyone's game. Melon places a lot of pressure on the enemy. It's very much they are the team. They are the team of a stronger position here, but I wouldn't count PSISTORM Dragoons out. Diablo with that 20, as well as Nazebo, Vital Infection, as well as Elemental Conduit, are all very strong talents, as Garrosh can actually get a relatively large stun throw combo off. Chen gets all his Panda Pals empowered. That's a weird thing. Snarfungus in an awkward position. Slice decided back out as well, just because they were just separated from the rest of the team. In terms of gems, we do see that Melon Place of Days is very much closer, but PSISTORM Dragoons is taking this downtime very much to make sure they aren't going to miss anything, and are handing in before a major fight breaks out. Speaking about a major fight breaking out, we do see Diablo stunned and flipped. We see Riptide coming out, taking out pushing Crispy away a little bit. There's Slice pushed into an awkward spot under the tower there. Made sure to try to keep under there. There's Chen using his kick. Traxxix now in an awkward position going down. Slice and Traxxix now sharing the burden. There is a silent Sun root on Chen. Chen having to drink off the pain. And that is Bramble actually wanting to dash out all the damage. Actually, that's a lot of buttons pushed. A lot of the actual damage came out to both sides. However, both are safe. And actually looking at it, we can see that Handon, what Melon plays for days, does have the Handon. Meanwhile, we do see Catalyst on course, so that will have to be dealt with soon. So this needs to either be a quick fight for Red. Actually, never mind, Chen is halving. Really needs to be a quick fight for Red now. Actually, Slice charges in, and that is a big mistake. That fort is up. Garrosh had to throw up, and that is the Diablo going down. Fortunately, Soulstone was available, so it's not the end of the world yet. But hopefully, we can see the blue team, or red team, trying to capitalize on this while Diablo is his weakened state. Diablo, not very much health, while they are empty on souls. Best way to put that? Yeah, while they're empty on souls is probably the best way to put that. However, with that W build, they do have a lot to take it back. Snarf, you need to check. You're going to get thrown. Actually, double stunned. Pillow pushes Q onto Chaos Pigeon. Chaos Pigeon getting a double throw onto them. Actually, that pushback into the Chen may have actually helped the backline quite a bit. Traxxix does use Bomb to separate them. That is the Chen ult coming out. There's Panda Powers diving onto both Traxxix and Snarfungus. Snarfungus now in awkward position. Does drop the W on their own head. However, will go down. That is Crispy number 1. Barely hanging on, actually. Traxxix backs out, as well as the rest of the blue team. Blue team of Melon plays today does still have Handon, but for side of PSISTORM, Dragoons does now have a man advantage. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do with this advantage. But it looks like they are starting to get near the next Handon, but it doesn't appear we'll be ending this very soon. I say that, but I'm not actually looking at how long we have on this. I can just see it says 23 minutes. I don't know how long. Ooh. And that is now another fort that just goes over to the side of Melon plays for days. This is, again, anyone's game. Boss is coming up in 40 seconds. That could be the end of it all. Or if Melon players can get the hand in, that will be their game. It'll be interesting to see where we go. Both teams getting their hand... Ooh, actually, PSISTORM Dragoons only need 3 more gems, 2 more gems. They're getting very close to having their own hand in, and Chen is trying their best to make sure they can get there. Yep, and with these last few here, Chen will have hand in. D.Va's doing bot camp again. I'd like to point that out, but bot is probably the safest lane so far. And, sorry, I need to mute myself because I'm about to cough. My throat is getting dry, but that will be Red Handon. And this is now a 23-minute web weaver. That is going to be potent, to say the least. Jana, you can't be caught out here. Crispy is looking to jump onto him. Traxxix does give a stun up onto Chaos Pigeon, and that means they are both able to live. Now we shall see a rather strong hold here, hopefully. There will be a bit of staggering among the web weavers, so it may not be the end here. So the blue team Melon players today will likely burn this, rotate top, and then contest PSISTORM Dragoons, as they don't want to be losing everything here. Crispy in an interesting spot. Are they just a distraction? They are just a distraction. Artemis is following them into there. We do see Riptide coming out, getting a reasonable amount of damage, actually getting 2 of the members. Yep, getting a reasonable amount of cooldown. Scythe getting hit by the Summoned Chaos Pigeon. Chaos Pigeon is actually just kind of dominating that area. That is Taunt coming out. There's big red button hitting Traxxix. Traxxix is going to go down with 32 gems. That is not what you want to see here, as that is a big front part of your front line. Actually, Lightborn goes out. However, Diablo did charge Crispy away from him. That is Garrosh going down next. That Anduin root stun combo is doing so much. Snarf just ate the big red button and just goes down. That was such unfortunate timing. There was not much they could do thanks to that delay on it, and actually that will be the Anduin going down next. Between big red button and the Nazebo, that looks like that will be pretty much a team wipe, and thanks to the position they're in, that looks to be game going over to the side of PSISTORM Dragoons, meaning this was a wonderful series, but it will be 2-1, 1-2 according to your screen, as that will be game series GG to both sides. It was a very fun series to watch. Anyway, let's do everyone's favorite. I am going to change over to this screen. Cry because I keep forgetting to move this. Forget to move this. Anyway, stats. A lot of siege. That's the first thing I know. Between Tychus, Naz, Chen all doing 140k up, as well as Junkrat, Diva, Jaina also all doing a lot of siege. Just also more of a burden shared by Anduin and Diablo. We have a very, very tight game actually for a lot of that match. It just all kind of crumbled at the end. A lot of healing done by both Anduin and Lucio. I have liked Artemis Howell's Anduin this match. Or not this match, this series. It's been fun to watch. As well as just in general, they've been pretty close games. Especially this last one. Looking at talents, everything seems relatively standard. I can't say for certain, just because there's some characters here I don't play at all. Such as Diva. I think this is standard. I don't know. It looks good to me. And definitely Traxxas was doing work on it for a lot of the game. Just the ending was unfortunate. I know definitely the interesting one here is Withering Flames and Storm Snout recipe. Things I haven't seen as much whenever I have seen Chen being played, but they worked very effectively for for Crispy this game. Anyway, what I'm going to do is throw it over to the final screen I'm going to be showing for the day. As we did see, first map was taken by Melon Place for days, and then we had a reverse sweep for PSISTORM Dragoons. Actually, both the NEXOMANIA games I've casted now were reverse sweeps. Interesting. I'm wondering if this trend will keep up, and if I just randomly keep choosing reverse sweeps without actually ever checking the scores. Anyway, I have been your caster, O-Lime Bus. It has been a wonderful evening to have you all. I will be posting the VODs for this later on YouTube. It just does need to be done still, because I'm probably not going to do it tonight, because I'm tired and just want to play video games. Anyway, it's been lovely to have you all. I wish everyone a good night, good morning, good evening, depending where you are, or good afternoon as well. And anyway, I will see you all in the Nexus. Bye now.